If you love wilderness, you have to love Australia. I mean, take a look at it. It's vast. It's a beautiful continent.
I'm back in Australia, going wilder than ever before and venturing deep into untamed territory. Across the remote outback.
Oh, what was that? Oh, a big one.
Off the beaten track. Into the big blue ocean. And high over the mountains.
Well, it should be a great place to look for eagles.
With my team, I'm going to discover the incredible life that thrives here. In all its beauty, variety,
I just saw one.
and drama. As I travel from the heat of the day
Keep moving now, guys. Keep moving back.
to the cool of the night,
This is one of the most incredible sights in nature.
across the epic landscapes of the Australian wilderness. I'm in search of one of the world's oldest civilizations and most timeless landscapes. To experience both, I'm heading into the heart of Kakadu in Australia's Northern Territory.
I can't think of a better way to start the day than this. Dawn, sunrise over Kakadu. Kakadu is an incredible national park in the top of Australia. It's a World Heritage Site. If you think of a map of Australia, it's at 12 o'clock, right up in the Northern Territory. And this is one of my favourite environments on the whole planet.
It's huge and largely uninhabited, a 20,000 square kilometre mosaic of seasonal floodplains, rivers and creeks. My route into Kakadu will take me up one of these waterways before I head off-road to overnight and forage for food with an Aboriginal family who are traditional owners of this land. But I'm starting my journey on the yellow water billabong that flows off the Jim Jim Creek. It's my best way into the heart of Kakadu.
I've always found this part of Australia has a particularly primeval quality, a strange feeling here. And during the night, a lot of the bird life will have been gathered together for safety in some of the shallows there. And at this time of day, the prey species breathe a sigh of relief with daylight and increased visibility returning. You feel the place relaxing a little bit and coming to life.
This is the end of the wet season, when monsoon rains have flooded the lakes and rivers with a rich mix of nutrients and minerals from surrounding floodplains, and the wildlife flourishes on it. A third of Australia's native birds live here, feeding on the waterside plants, insects and fish.
Masked plover's just dislodged that white-bellied fish eagle. It's taken to the wing now. You can see the scale of the bird and how long that wingspan is. Spectacular.
This truly is a bird lover's paradise. Birds of prey rub wings with waders, ducks and tropical songbirds. In fact, there are over 280 different bird species here.
Everywhere you look, there's wildlife, and a lot of it's incredibly well camouflaged. You can see on that little branch jutting out, there's a juvenile rufous night heron. When animals are young, they're a little naive, so they can become easy victim to predators. But nature helps to balance a little bit by providing them with that extra camouflage.
But as we all know, danger lurks in paradise.
But you can see the risk that they take, because just moving back there is a crocodile. And for a lot of the day, the crocodile will lie still and pretend to be a dead log. If a bird gets too close, bang, it'll be caught. And one of the things about crocodiles is everyone thinks of them going forwards and snatching, which they do, but they're also very good at this sideways, grabbing sideways, using the whole length of their mouth. When they pounce, they are totally explosive. The speed at which they move, it's difficult to see it, it's so fast. It really is something to behold. Oh, it's moving.
This young heron has been spared for another day. Crocodiles are territorial and opportunistic predators. This guy is big enough to show no fear of our boat.
250,000 years of evolution has made that an incredibly successful super predator, if you like. It's having a little hiss at us. Part of their secret is this ability to squirrel themselves away into dark places and sit and wait patiently for you to make a mistake. You certainly wouldn't want to swim here. It would be certain death.
You can see why. The saltwater crocodile is the largest reptile in the world.
Look in through here. Look in there. Look at the size of that. That's a big crocodile. That's a powerful animal.
Salties can grow up to 7 meters long. They have the world's most powerful bite and no predators except for humans.
When you take a close look at that, it makes you think of Godzilla.
There are as many as 10,000 crocodiles in Kakadu. This flat-bottomed boat is far enough out of the water to prevent us from being their next meal. We've come as far as we can go on this billabong. Time to move on.
Well, that was fantastic. Kakadu is an amazing place, and going out on a boat, a brilliant way to see all these wetlands. But what I want to do now is to go into the forest, and for that, I'm going to need wheels.
Kakadu is untamed. The scorching heat of summer rapidly turns wetland into parched forest and bush. So our journey is about to get much tougher. We have to find drivable tracks, and these are few and far between as we go deeper into the bush.
Now, according to the map, up here is the end of the tarmac. From there on, it's all dirt roads. This is a wonderful environment to drive through. You can see it's quite different to the wetlands. Australia is full of dirt roads like this. But if you find yourself driving on an unsealed road for the first time, make sure you drop your speed and go into the bends slowly. You can see there are wrecks on the bends here.
Now we go even further off track and onto rough earth roads where mud becomes a major hazard. The ground dries out, leaving a crust on top, but the mud underneath is still soft, and that can become a problem. As our crew car discovers when they plough into the mud. And out here, there's no roadside assistance to come and get you out of trouble.
Usually, your best option is to back out in the first instance because you've just come off of hard ground. But if you keep your foot on the accelerator, you just get deeper and deeper, and then you've got a real problem.
I'm going to use dry branches to provide traction.
Try and give the tyre something to get some grip on. 2, 3.
Getting stuck is a reminder that although this is a beautiful place, it can be a difficult one if you're unfamiliar with it. But it's an everyday reality for the people who live here, who have mastered the art of living in harmony with this land.
Although Kakadu is a national park, it's still owned by Aboriginal people, and there are about 500 who live in the park today. And Aboriginal people have this deep-seated connection to their landscape that's really very special. And I'm really fortunate to have been invited to go and stay in a local camp. That'll give me a chance to see the landscape through their eyes.
Many of the people here are traditional Aboriginal owners of this land. We're going to stay on the edge of the Jim Jim Creek in central Kakadu as the guests of Mandy Muir and her family.
Hello.
Hey, Mandy.
Finally, great to meet you, Ray.
Very nice to meet you. This is your camp.
Yeah, welcome to my mother's country. I'm a caretaker, what we call Gutjungai, for this area.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
well,
so-
thank you so much for inviting me.
Mandy and her nephew Salam are from an Aboriginal clan called the Moramburra. They welcome us with a smoking ceremony unique to their clan.
Salam, what are we doing here?
Making a fire, smoke protection.
He said for the old people to look after you, and you've come here from a long way to come and visit our beautiful country.
Yeah, and I feel good. I feel accepted.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's pretty special to have been welcomed to Kakadu like this. The ritual is ancient and heartfelt. Mandy's hospitality also extends to a pretty fancy-looking tent.
This is going to be my home for the night, and I'm excited because it's always best to camp out, because here you are, you're totally engaged with the environment, and it's at these times, dusk and dawn, that you have the best chance of seeing wildlife. So that's brilliant. Looks like a good tent too. Very comfortable.
It's been a long day, and I'm looking forward to a good night's sleep in the wild. Nothing beats that. It's 6 a.m. in Kakadu National Park in the Northern Territory of Australia. My team and I are making an early start at this inspirational camp in the heart of the floodplains.
Well, it was a really noisy night. There were a lot of amphibians calling and insects. And then I came and sat out here before the sun was even up, and I could hear this whoomph, whoomph, whoomph. A squadron after squadron of fruit bats went over here in that direction. It was magic. They're being chased by the first rosy glow on the horizon. And it's exactly those experiences that you don't get unless you're camping out.
So much going on at the moment. You have to keep your eyes everywhere, because the bird life is really coming alive now as the sun comes up.
And I really do mean keep a lookout.
Cheeky devil.
I wasn't expecting trouble from above. But now Mandy and Salam are going to show me how they manage the resources here at this time of year. Their camp is surrounded by scrubby bush, and in the tropics this undergrowth gets thick very quickly. It's hard to walk through. That makes it difficult to hunt and to forage for wild food. So they manage the bush by burning it.
Mandy, what are the benefits of burning the country?
Well, when it's burned, it helps to clear the area so that people can travel through it. Also, replenishment of the plants and animals.
So once you've burned the country, you get useful plants, and then fresh growth comes that draws in game, which is good for hunting?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to pull up over here and get ready to make a fire.
Using an ancient method, Salam is going to create a flame. The friction of one stick spinning fast against the other generates a small ember of hot wood dust, which is used to light the dry grasses.
Looking good.
Well, let's do this. We'll light the fire.
By using brush sticks as firelighters,
I'll take a lighter for you.
it's not long before we have fire ripping its way through the dry undergrowth.
This is fire stick farming, and it's very, very ancient. You have to keep your wits about you when this is going on, because the flames can take you by surprise. Aboriginal people have been doing this for tens of thousands of years, and one of the benefits is all the light wood gets burned away, and that makes the forest more resistant to big bushfires. Where you don't get this traditional burning, you get lots of little sticks, and if they catch fire when there's lightning or something like that, then you get massive hot fires that can make the gum trees burst. And then you get absolutely lethal forest fires.
As the wind whips up, The fire is moving fast.
As this wall of flame moves forward, the heat goes in front of it. So we need to keep moving now, guys. Keep moving back. And this can push out small game. Not everything gets out, so there's a free meal for a lot of things afterwards. Okay, time to get out of here. Come this way. Come over to the edge. Let it go past us. The heat goes in front of that fire and it can be lethal 100 meters or more in front of the flames. If you look into the smoke, up here, you'll see hawks flying. And they're looking for an easy picking, something small, lizards, things like that, that have been burned. In fact, they were following us when they saw us walk out with the fire sticks. It's amazing. And I've even seen whistling kites, there's some there, look, there, look, pick up burning sticks and move them to move the fire. They're really clever.
It seems counterintuitive, but this traditional burning encourages vigorous new plant growth, which in turn supports more animals and insects. And the fire itself provides a feed for birds and humans. It really is a great example of people and nature working in harmony.
There.
So this is what the hawks are looking for. It's amazing, 5 minutes ago, you couldn't walk through there. But watching Salan, he's looking now carefully into the ashes and he's finding edible plants, but they don't burn. They just sit there in the ashes, green.
It's easy when you know what you're looking for. Salam's ancestral knowledge leads him to an edible root hidden in the burnt grass.
What have you got there then, Salan?
Bush carrot.
Bush carrot. It's got a strong rind on it, yep, yep.
You just peel it and you can eat the seed or you can just dig it up and...
I'll try a bit of that. Oh, it's nice flavour. Sweet.
Bush carrot.
Yeah, let's go then. Right.
Mandy and Salam take me deeper into the land around their camp. Their knowledge of what it has to offer is obvious. Salam spots a melaleuca, a paperbark tree, with an oversized bulge in its trunk.
So this one here, it's got water in it, and then as soon as when we crack it here, the water comes out.
This is a real life-saving skill. You can see here on the side of this melaleuca, there's this bulge, and that represents water trapped in here. This is pure magic. Yeah, watch. There you go, here comes the water. Yeah. Look at that. And sometimes these bulges are big and it pours out like a tap. Or you can suck it from the tree. Let's see if we can get a taste of that water. It's actually quite sweet. That's good. Good. It's amazing. It's really important to be able to find water out here. There's the old Aboriginal tap. It's fantastic.
We move from the bush to the edge of a billabong, where the waters flood and recede through the year. We're looking for a water lily, a plant full of nutrients and vitamins. Mandy and her family eat a huge variety of the seasonal plant life here.
So I guess as the water level drops, you find yourself in competition with the birds for the water lilies.
Yeah, first and best dressed, really. So here, look, we've got a couple.
So this has got the edible seeds in it, yeah?
Yeah, and some are pink and some are purple.
That's really nice. They're crunchy, a bit like some of these seeds that the hipsters put in their salads these days. Yeah, that's really delicious.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
And
yeah,
you
have
can
a
use the
taste of the
stem,
stem, yeah.
Now you can carry stems like this, can't you? If you don't peel them, you can
Yeah.
stick it in a dilly bag if it's a hot day and carry them with you.
Absolutely.
Pre-packaged, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, that one's sweet. That's
Nice. That's very sweet.
a nice one.
We continue to forage along the edge of the billabong until we reach a small tributary of the Jim Jim Creek. And as always, next to water, we have to stay alert for the crocodiles that are ever present.
Have you ever had any close shaves with big saltwater crocodiles?
Yeah, plenty. yeah, we have to keep our eyes open. So when I say run, run.
And there are signs of crocodiles all around us.
Come and have a look at this. That's the tail there. A saltwater crocodile's gone down in there.
footprint here, just there. Yeah, it's wider than my hand. That.
So we move into the water on full alert.
Okay, so stay close, Ray.
Yep.
We're foraging around the edge here.
I absolutely love coming out with Aboriginal people like this. When they want to move fast, they can walk through this country and you can't keep up. They're strong walkers. But when they're looking for food, they go very slowly and they look very, very sharply. They notice all sorts of things. What we're looking for are these. These are freshwater mussels.
They grow much more bigger in the muddy areas.
Yeah.
And of course a great source of iron for our people. Yeah.
Should we take this stuff back to camp?
Yeah, let's take it back to the camp and we'll go and cook them up.
Sadly, I'm nearing the end of my stay with Mandy and her family. I never tire of spending time with Aboriginal people, and it's been great to see the tight connection that they have to this landscape. But it has only stayed like this through the generations by respecting nature and only taking what you need. Like these few mussels we've gathered, cooking them couldn't be easier. Just pop them in the embers of a hot fire and wait for a couple of minutes.
Looking good.
Okay, it's all cooked, Ray.
They look like they've opened up. Thank you, Mandy.
Oh, lovely.
It's not a strong flavour, is it?
It's clean.
Very clean. It's a very delicate flavour. It's not as strong as a marine mussel. That's nice and very moist. That's delicious.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Mandy, thank you so much for taking me out looking for bush tucker. It's been absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
It's been great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
Mark Road.
You know, Kakadu is amazing. Be leaving soon, and that's really sad because this is such a special place. You never forget coming here. It gets inside of you and touches you in a spiritual way. But what's interesting is that increasingly I hear people talk about people as though we are in some way removed from nature. But here in Kakadu, you can see this is a landscape that depends on the continuing traditions of Aboriginal culture to burn the landscape, to manage it. The message to me is clear. People are absolutely a part of nature and always will be.